really excited about the opportunity to connect with everybody today. Excited to see faces and of course to hear voices, and looking forward very much so to seeing many of you hopefully in person again very soon. We have some incredible guests with us today to join the conversation. First, I want to introduce our community partner for this session of Virtual Tank, Ms. Sheila Mixon from the Urban League. The Urban League is doing incredible work and has for a number of years with entrepreneurs around the country, probably in your local community too. So Sheila, would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the work you're doing, and then we'll introduce Cedric and get into the conversation.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. Thank you so much for including me in this process. I'm really looking forward to it. I am Sheila Mixon. I have responsibility for all the entrepreneurship programs at the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio, which is headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are one of 12 entrepreneurship centers that receives funding from the National Urban League. And Cincinnati is one of the original 5 entrepreneurship centers, and we're still standing here. The programs that we support here at the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio includes a small business development center that touches all entrepreneurs across all ethnic groups and business structures and so forth. We have our Economic Empowerment Center, which is where all our minority work is done. And then we have our women's program, which is Women's Business Enterprise Council, Ohio River Valley, which is the certifying arm for WeBank, which certifies women-owned businesses that are 51% owned, operated, and controlled by a woman. So those are our 3 programs, and the work that we do for the National Urban League, of course, encompasses several things, from the coaching and counseling that happens to the workshops that are taken care of by our Small Business Development Center. We have a program which is our signature program, which is called the African American Business Development Program, which is a 7-month program that's, I've been told by some of the participants that have graduated from the program, and we've graduated about 95 plus African American firms from out of that program since 2008. That program is a mini MBA program, that it really and truly teaches you and gives you the tools that you need to take your business to the next level, or wherever it is you're trying to take that business. We've been fortunate that we've been able to help grow several businesses beyond $1 million in revenue per year. And some of them have gone on to have exponential growth up to $50 million. So we do a lot of work within the minority community. We currently have a program called the Resiliency Fund that is offering grants to Black and Brown businesses in the Cincinnati market for those that have been impacted by COVID. So we're providing some gap funding for those Black and Brown businesses to help them overcome some of the things that have occurred because of COVID. And that's just a couple of the things that we have done in our minority space. So I will turn it back over to you so that we can hear more from Cedric, as he's the man of the hour here, to hear how he went through and was selected to be part of Shark Tank.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sheila. And thanks again to the Urban League, National Urban League, and also the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio for the incredible work that you all are doing with entrepreneurs. And yes, next I want to bring up uh, my brother Cedric. He's from St. Louis. He actually pitched at a casting call, an in-person casting call when we could do them a few years back during the National Urban League convention, and successfully made it on to that season of Shark Tank. Not only did he make it onto the show, but he got an air date. Not only did he get an air date, he actually was able to successfully get a deal, get a handshake agreement on the show, which is super exciting. Cedric is the CEO of Best Wardrobe Solutions, and he pitched his Best Pocket Square Holder product on Shark Tank. Prior to becoming an entrepreneur myself and having a much more casual look, I actually spent several years working in the United States Senate, and I had to wear a suit and tie every day. Never looked quite as good as Cedric looks right now. You'll see him, but I had to wear a suit and tie every day, and keeping my pocket square in one place was a constant issue. And so definitely a product that speaks to an issue and a need. And Cedric, looking forward to learning more about your business and about your journey. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you decided to start the business.
And here I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Listen, guys, if you have not had your coffee today, I'll be your coffee for today. All right. Got a lot of energy, enough for all of us to burn, no doubt about it. But a little bit about me. So, Cedric Cobb, founder, CEO of Best Wardrobe Solutions, which is the creators of the Best Pocket Square Holder, which is a device that holds a man's pocket square securely in place. It's a little device right here. You put your pocket square in it, and you put the whole assembly in your pocket. I basically solved a 100-year-old problem with a $20 product. I always say it's a $20 fix for a century-old problem, and guys love that. So everything from big time celebrities all the way to just us regular guys that maybe go to church a couple of times a year. I go to church every Sunday, but for those who go,
so wait a minute, you're not a Mother's Day and Christmas attendee.
No, not at all. I'm actually on the board of directors for my church. I'm there a couple times a week in most cases when time is normal, right? And so you look and you say, why did we start this company? So first we started with just a product. That was really it. That's all I wanted to do was solve that problem and nothing else. And then my customers were like, no, I need this, and I want ties, and I want pocket squares, and I want shoes. Do you do suits? Can you style me? Can you this? Can you that? And then it morphed into Best Wardrobe Solutions. But the number one thing was I saw in the industry that there was nothing to fix this problem. You know, I actually saw a episode of Steve Harvey back in, I think maybe 2014. And he was doing a segment on there called Ask Steve. And a lady came up there with her husband and said, you know, my husband, he looks good, but he's missing something. And can you help him with these pocket squares? So they came up and Steve was showing them how to style pocket squares and everything. And he was like, you know what, let me just tell you guys the secret of how I keep my pocket square in place. And the guy who styles them, who I know, he actually uses fabric tape in order to literally tape it into his pocket. And I was appalled. I was like, clutch my pearls. Steve is using fabric tape to hold his pocket square in place. I said, that's it. I got to fix the problem. I got to fix the problem. I said, arguably the sharpest dressed man in the world is using tape to keep his pocket square in place. We got to fix it. So that's when I went up on my journey of actually finishing up the Best Pocket Square Holder. So a little bit about it real fast, I think maybe a really cool fun fact to know. So we've actually sold this product in all 50 states. We've shipped it to over 60 countries now. We have over 600 points of distribution across the country. We have over 35 celebrities, pro athletes, and television personalities who wear the product. And we did so good with it that we've actually turned our business into a mobile app as well, which is Best Wardrobe Solutions. And it's absolutely free. Guys can download it in the App Store, wow. Also Google Play. So I apologize if I maybe seem like I'm getting ahead, but I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to follow the program.
All good, Cedric, and appreciate the energy, man. I know you're a former athlete, just like I am, and if you don't bring the energy to the field or to the court, I think you're a basketball player. It's just not going to happen. And so the same thing for me, if I didn't bring the energy to the track, because track is such an individual sport, just like entrepreneurship can be sometimes, for better, for worse. Things don't get done, and so no problem with that at all. Something I tell to entrepreneurs all the time, probably for every 10 entrepreneurs I meet that have a business, there are 20 or 30 aspiring entrepreneurs or people that want to start businesses. And for them, I always tell them, go through your week and identify the problems you encounter. What are the issues that you're having that you could come up with a solution for, and then scale? Because those problems are going to be things that you are uniquely qualified to solve because of your proximity to the problem. You're going to be uniquely excited about solving it because it's a problem that you have. And lastly, you're going to have a really authentic origin story when it comes to how did you come to create this business? Because again, this is something that you're dealing with on a regular basis. So Cedric, you definitely took my advice and put it into practice. And not only my advice, I think a lot of folks would say start where you are in terms of being able to start a business, but definitely a great origin story. Would love to hear, when did you hear about Shark Tank? When did potentially being on the show become something you were thinking about?
So I would say it was two times. One was my customers loved this idea, and I literally bootstrapped this thing. I'm talking about, excuse the analogy, it was really like a drug dealer's approach. Not that I would know exactly how that works, but
we can all read books. We can Google.
There you go. There you go. You seen Boys in the Hood. All right, it's cool, right? but basically is I had a master seamstress here in St. Louis, and we would make 100 of these and box them up and do all that, and then we'd sell 100, and then I'd use all that money to invest into equipment and materials, and we'd make as many as we could make with that, and we'd just keep selling through them and keep turning it over and over and over and over and over. So it was probably the most quintessential way of bootstrapping that's out there. So we an investor until literally just recently, and so for more than 4 years, we've just been doing it on our own. No loans, none of that, And so to get back to your question, what was your question, by the way?
When did you first think about being on Shark Tank? When did that come into your mind?
That's a real question. Okay, keep me on track, Brandon.
You're all good, man. You were talking about funding, and I assumed you were like, we didn't look for funding before, but at some point, we were looking for it, and Shark Tank came into my mind. All good.
Exactly. So me, I was just like an athlete. I'm like, I'm just gonna go out here and do it, bootstrap it, earn my way through it. It's all good. My customers are like, why don't you go on Shark Tank? Had you thought about doing Shark Tank? Had you thought about doing it? You'd be good for TV and blah, 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 blah. And actually, it kind of got on my nerves about it. And I said, maybe I should try out for it one time just so I could get people off my back. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. As an athlete, it's always going to come and you're going to shoot your best shot. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, just kind of let it go, And so what I did initially is I actually went to the open call that they had in Texas. I have a really good friend up in Texas. I went up there, hung out with them, and stood in that line of like 600 people, and got the band and went in and I flew in all my props and stuff and made my pitch. And I was like, hey, I'm done. I made my pitch. It's over. I don't know what's going to happen, And so fast forward. Think about a year and some change later, heard that you guys were coming to St. Louis in conjunction with the Urban League. They said, oh, there's also going to be a Shark Tank pitch through the Urban League. I said, wow, okay, well, that's just right down the street from my house. So why not do it again, right? And so did it again, came, showed up, prepared, the whole 9 yards. You guys made the process like so seamless. The paperwork that you filled out to initiate it was really simple. Getting in and getting an actual window of time to present was really good. The producers were really, really, smooth about how they did what they did. And everybody's so encouraging, everyone's so encouraging. No one comes in like, that's stupid. That's never.
Yeah, sometimes we get the question, do we ever just like throw people out there for comic relief? It's a TV show after all. Do we ever just put people out there and say sink or swim? And the reality is, no, we try to set people up for success. And hopefully that comes through. There's always, the human condition means there's always going to be somebody that forgets what they were going to say, or they get a little combative, but we don't have to create those moments. Those moments come out naturally, but we want everybody to do well. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I went through that process and then got another phone call back. So I got a phone call back and an email back. It wasn't immediately. It didn't happen. I think it was a seed that got planted with me trying out again. And then it wasn't for, I think it was almost maybe 9 months or so. I have reached back out to again and say, interested in being a part of season 10. I was like, yeah, of course. So what do I need to do? And then obviously the paperwork process goes through. And then after a while, you got to shut your mouth.
Right.
Don't tell anybody nothing.
Which is harder for some than others.
Oh my gosh. Some people just got diarrhea of the mouth. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. And so I was fortunate enough to go through all the vetting process and actually get asked to come to Sony Picture Studios in LA to record. I was up there about 5 days or so and practiced. And I had my guys come there with me because we had to walk out in diamond formation. And I was actually sick. Here's a little fun fact people didn't know. I was actually pretty sick. I had like a 102-degree temperature, and I was fighting it off and whatnot. And I made a deal with God in my room. I said, I just need to hold it together for 2 hours. Just let me come in here and kill it. 2 hours. And then when I get back to my hotel room, I'm passing out.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. But, you're on such a high after you pitching and the adrenaline's pumping. It took me a little while to come down, but when I crashed, sir, I crashed. It was over with, but no one knew. I was very feverish and was not feeling good throughout that whole process. But
well, thank goodness your prayer was answered and you persevered through it. Opportunity comes, and it doesn't always come at an opportune time, but it's up to us to make the best of whatever opportunity we get when we get it, and make sure that on the other side that we don't have excuses to make. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing that story. And hopefully for other entrepreneurs that are watching this, you're not going to feel good every day. You're not going to feel your best. Sometimes, family, friends are going to be crazy. Maybe people are going to tell you that you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, that you shouldn't be doing this. You should be pursuing something else. But if you have your mind made up that this is a significant opportunity and this is what I should be doing, you're definitely evidence of the great things that can happen. So you pitched on the show, you weren't feeling well. What was it like to actually have that conversation with the Sharks and leave with a handshake agreement?
Good Lord. I'll tell you, I used to hear people say all the time, well, I had an out-of-body experience. When you've never experienced that, you're like, whatever. What does that mean? You had an out-of-body experience until you experience it. When I walked in there, the doors open. I will share this much. A lot of people think that Shark Tank music is playing when you walk in.
Oh, yeah, no.
You got to play it in your head,
right.
That bump, 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 bump. And you got to do that in your head, and it kind of gets you going, right? And so the second that second set of doors opened up, I literally felt like I was watching television. And I was like, well, who's talking? It was me. Who's bitching right now? Oh, it's me. And so it felt like such an out-of-body experience initially. So to be in there, with the sharks and be able to really have a lot of fun with it. If no one's ever seen my episode of season 10, episode 21, I had Mr. Wonderful modeling. I had a great dialogue going on with Laura, joking with Robert Herschelbeck. And it was a really, really amazing time. And many people don't know, and other people can find this information out. So I'm not sharing any proprietary secrets, but I was actually in there an hour.
Oh yeah.
It gets whittled down to only 11 minutes, but I was in there an hour. It's a lot of dialogue. Probably could have been in there another 30 minutes. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot to talk about. They're literally seeing you for the very first time. They don't know anything about you. They really don't. Guys.
That's one thing that I think people don't realize. So Shark Tank is a reality TV show, and to keep that reality piece constant, the sharks don't see or hear anything about the entrepreneurs before. So people like me who are in the casting process, we get to see your business and do some vetting, etc., some analysis. But the sharks and their teams, to keep everybody honest and to keep the reality segment there, they don't see or hear anything. And you're right. The pitches at the very least are going to last, 30 minutes or so. But I've seen them go over 2 hours from time to time, especially if you already have some investors on your cap table and you got to go out to see, okay, if I do, this deal, would it make sense? And if you already have investors on your cap table, somebody's going to get diluted, and trying to figure out that kind of stuff. So it is as real of a business negotiation as you can get on TV. And for the entrepreneurs, being under those lights for an hour, maybe that helps you, Ced, because maybe you were able to like sweat out a little bit of that, cold or flu or whatever you had. I remember, I'm from Alabama. My grandmother used to wrap me up in 2 or 3 blankets at night when I was sick and tell me to sweat it out. So maybe you sweated it out and ended up better for it.
I was sweating too. I was sweating. I needed to grab some water. They said, hey, we'll put some water over here. If you need to take a break and go grab some water, get some water. I said, there's no way I'm going to break a connection with these guys.
Yeah. You end up having one of those Marco Rubio moments, trying to grab a water bottle in the middle of an important speech.
No way. No way. Look, you better give me an IV through the vein or something, but I'm not going to get in the water. I just got to figure it out.
Well, yeah. Cedric, thanks so much for sharing your story and sharing your experience. We're going to do a short Q&A. So folks in the audience, if you have questions, feel free to use the Q&A that's there, or raise your hand. And while you're doing that, last question I have for you, Cedric, is what tips, if any, do you have for entrepreneurs that may be interested in the show? What have you learned from your experience that might be helpful to other entrepreneurs that are interested?
Oh, that is such an amazing question. I get this. I get this quite often. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things is I'll say this first and I'll backdoor my way into it. Barbara Corcoran, after I pitched, Barbara Corcoran went on to Twitter and posted a picture of me making my pitch a screenshot. And she said, it's amazing what energy and enthusiasm will get you in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
And so I came in there on 11. Mm-hmm. 11. This is only, like, as Mr. Wonderful says, this is only the biggest moment of your life, right? It's right. Like, if you're going to spend that moment of your life, spend that moment of your life going for it and say, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. So I'll also say this one last piece and I'll give you the answer. I've had, ever since I've pitched on Shark Tank and people have seen it, I get inbox messages, emails, and all kinds of different things from people all around the world saying things like, you did an amazing job. You made me proud to be Black. You made me want to start a business. You made me understand that I need to be more enthusiastic about what I do. Mm-hmm. And I'm talk to these people. They share what they've gleaned from it. So I'm really thankful for that. That was really my biggest thing. Just like an athlete, I want to come out, I want to do my best, shoot my best shot. And at the end, either you stand there as a victor or not, And so I felt about what I did. So whether I got a deal or not, it was like I shot my best shot, and that's it. You can't do anything more than that. Yeah. So my advice is, if you can't get excited about what you do, completely do not expect anybody else to get excited about it. People are not going to get excited just because your business or your product makes sense. They need it to connect with them. You may get them to, oh wow, that makes sense. That's smart. That doesn't mean they're going to buy it. You got to connect. So you got to get in touch with some type of emotional connection or solve a very, very, very intricate problem that's been a major pain point for someone for a long time, that they're throwing money at you because you fixed it for them. All right. The other thing too is, a good idea is a good idea, but no one cares until you make them care.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. So some people say, well, I'm not the best salesman. Well, you're probably not going to be a very successful business owner either. You probably should just license it or sell your idea to someone else, because it will end up in the wealthiest place in the world. And that's the graveyard. There's
Mm-hmm.
more great ideas sitting in the graveyard and in a cemetery than there is out here on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So do what you got to do to get that thing out on the market. The other thing is, understand that if it's an idea that solves a problem and is really going to make a difference in the marketplace, and this is a little bit of a spiritual piece or universal piece for you, is it's going to get to market whether it's through you or through someone else. So do not wait. You have to have this go for it type attitude. It's frightening. It's terrifying. You're thinking about trying to protect it. What if it's knocked off? What if it's this? You're going to have 1,000 different ideas going through your head. But the worst one to have to deal with is the regret of not doing it or waiting too long and someone else did it and did it better.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great point to end on, Cedric. I usually live tweet the new episodes on Shark Tank, which of course come on, Friday nights, 9/8 Central on ABC, and every Friday there are people who say, "I thought of that and I didn't do it. I thought about this business. I have that problem and I thought about this kind of solution. I didn't do it." And some of them, start cussing themselves out on Twitter because they're mad because somebody just got a deal with a shark with an idea that they had. Others are more supportive and like, if I couldn't do it, I hope, you do it. But don't let yourself, be in that position of regret. Definitely put yourself out there. That's great point to end on. So going to do just a couple of quick questions and then going to get into some pitches. First quick question is, after applying, how long before you were actually able to share that you were going to be on the show? So I guess after you filmed, how long before you were able to actually share that you got an air date and that people could watch that you were going to be on Shark Tank?
Dear God. Okay, so and this is the part where you have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to be emotionally mature. So I got called to go to LA in September. Okay. I was like the second to the last or the last recording group of people to record before season 10 was going to come out. So I went in September. I couldn't tell anybody anything because you don't know if you're going to air or not. You could record, do a great job with the shark and do all of that, and it's still not guaranteed that your episode is going to air or not. And you don't find out until 2 to 2.5 weeks prior to it actually airing. So you really just got to keep building your business as you go, not knowing if you're ever going to be on television or not. So let me give it to you. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. I got a call the beginning of April.
Yeah.
8 months that you just don't know. And you can't go home and be like, oh my God, I recorded for Shark Tank. My episode's gone. And what are people going to ask you? When's it coming on? Like, you don't even know if you're ever going to air it. So it'd be worse for you to say something and nothing ever happened, because people are just going to bug you about it the rest of your freaking life. So just shut up. You know what I mean? Just be quiet. So you get the phone call. I got mine 2.5 weeks before mine aired, which my anniversary date was yesterday, April 28th. So 2 years ago, April 28th was when I was on the show, and trading right now, doing all kinds of stuff. We'll do something different on social media every day for the next 7 days. But yeah, so it was 8 months. 8 months I had to wait before I could open my mouth and say anything to anyone. And I remember standing in front of our church congregation. My pastor wanted me to talk about it, and it was just an amazing experience. And then you got to hustle because you want to make sure your inventory's together,
right,
and website's right, and all kinds of other things. And then the shark calls you, and you're trying to figure out things and complete negotiate. It's a lot going on in
yeah.
2.5 weeks. It's a lot. And we had a watch party. We had a huge watch party at City.
Of course you did.
I had about 400 people there. I got multiple awards from the mayor, and some of my celebrity business partners came into town. Ray Lewis and Roland Williams from the Super Bowl Rams, and it was just pretty amazing.
Well, that's great, man. That's great to hear. And I always encourage people, make the most of whatever moment that you get. You should do that in life in general, but especially in business, because, you know, as both you know, Cedric, and Sheila and the other entrepreneurs who are watching know, you know, these things turn on a dime. You know, you're up one day, down the next. And so seize on those moments when you have something positive, when you have something to celebrate, make the most of it, definitely. So because we're getting a little short on time, we're going to forego other questions and go straight into hearing a few pitches from entrepreneurs. Now, we're going to do 3 or 4 pitches if we can fit them in as an example, hopefully to other entrepreneurs that are watching. And again, anyone that's interested in pitching to be on season 13 of ABC Shark Tank, you can visit sharktankdiversitytour.com. Submit your virtual pitch. That'll come to me. I'll take a look at it, and definitely wishing you success as you compete to potentially be on season 13 of the show. So first up, would love to have Brittany Washington come up and pitch her business. So here's what we're going to do while she starts her video. What I want to hear is problem, solution, market opportunity, traction, and make your ask. Don't forget to ask for something. You can pretend like it's Shark Tank and make that kind of ask today, or you can just make an ask that's appropriate for a broader audience. You know, if you have a IG page or something that you want us to follow, definitely, but don't forget to make an ask. Give you 90 seconds. We'll start with your name and the name of your business. And then after that, I'll start the clock. After you finish pitching, I'll give you some feedback. Cedric, I'm sure will be happy to give you some, and Sheila is on hand to do that as well. All right, so give us your name of the business, and then take it away with your pitch.
Thank you. So my name is Brittany Whittington, and my business name is Layla the Lawyer. So my name is Brittany, and I am the creator of Layla the Lawyer. Layla the Lawyer is a young woman who is depicted in a children's book series, Layla the Lawyer. She is also depicted in a doll. So I want you all to think back when you were a little girl or boy. Think back about kids in your life. Wasn't it awesome to be able to think about what you wanted to be when you grow up? Isn't it exciting to be able to see people in books, on television, and dolls that look like you? And that's exactly what Layla the Lawyer does. Layla the Lawyer is a playground lawyer. She helps her friends solve playground disputes. And she does this by, number 1, helping you to analyze facts. Number 2, helping you to accept consequences for those facts. And she also allows you to appreciate diversity. She also causes young girls to aspire to new heights. And lastly, at the end of every book, she allows you to apply lawyer lingo. Layla the Lawyer also has a sidekick. His name is Edward the Enforcer, and he is also going to be a part of a new spin-off book series for young boys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm asking for $100,000 and for 10% of my company to promote Layla the Lawyer and to help young kids aspire to new heights, and of course, to make our next generation bright. Thank you.
Well, congratulations. That was great. That was great. And you were right at 90 seconds.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congrats on what you built so far. So loved that you have Layla there with you. I love that you were able to show the books as well. The only thing missing for me was your traction. So it looks like you have the books. You obviously have Layla there. Where are you selling now? And what kind of traction are you getting in the market?
Thank you. So I actually have a website. Layla the Lawyer has her own website. We are currently selling books there. We also in Barnes and Noble in the Bay Area. I'm from Vallejo, California. And so we are in a couple of Barnes and Nobles. We are also in a couple local bookstores. They span through Vallejo and also Berkeley and Antioch and Oakland. As far as traction is concerned, we've sold almost 3,000 copies. We've grossed about $10,000. Obviously, there's money and revenue that has been put back into the business. So this is the first book in the series. And then this is the second book, and it's actually an activity book. And we're going to be launching the third book soon. As far as goals, and I'll just project it out, the goal is to get Layla the Lawyer on TV. So I would like to have her launched as a television show. And so a lot of kids' television shows stem from actual books. Also, I think it's important to note we have merchandise. So Layla the Lawyer also has pearls and she has bracelets. I am wearing a pair of her pearls. And then she also has a feather pin. And without taking too much time, their significance, Layla the Lawyer's grandmother passed down a feather pin to her. And also this is a pin that people, well, actually judges used to use back in the day. And then we also have t-shirts. So as you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt, and Layla the Lawyer, one of her sayings is "it's solved." And then also I figured it out. So we also sell t-shirts on the website as well.
Wow. You have a whole lifestyle brand. I thought you were going to zoom in on your hair color and tell me you have Layla's hair treatment too.
Well, we do try. We do try.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Sheila, Cedric, what were your thoughts on the pitch? Sheila, you want to go first? And then Cedric, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Brittany, very good.
Thank you.
You got all the points in. One question I have for you, are you self-published as far as the books are concerned? Okay, so most of your investment has come from, did you do the normal, get the normal investment, friends and families and that sort of thing to get yourself launched?
I actually self-invested. Just in the way of background, I am a lawyer. And so I did start off with my own capital, and I was looking for a problem, which was, where do we teach kids about the law? How do we teach kids that this is an attainable career? And so through my research, I have a child of my own. I was like, hey, I need to create this. And then also as a Black woman, I went to Spelman College. So I'm always looking for avenues to continue to uplift our young girls and put them in careers. And now Kamala Harris is the vice president. So we definitely need more Kamalas.
Okay, very good. Very good. I would just tell you to keep the enthusiasm up. Look for other, I like the idea. You said that you want to use $100,000 to help launch the television show.
Yes.
Did I understand that? And then I would, tell you to also look at other avenues for publishing your books as well, so that you're not using all of your personal funds. It's great at the beginning because people want to see that you've made some type of investment into your business, but look for those other revenue, those other opportunities for investment. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cedric, what did you think?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm over here. I was over here vibrating over here. I'm telling you, you did an amazing job, Brittany. I was like, look at her. She's pretty. She's smiling when she talks. She's all that. I'm like, girl, you better come on.
Yeah. Thank you. Look, I took your energy.
Good. Well, for me, I love the fact. So if I was an investor, and I have a lot of friends who are, but they do some other things. But with that, I'd be looking at the fact that you are totally not a one-trick pony. My goodness, you built this thing out full circle. one of the things that Damon John said about me is like, you covered so much. You got a celebrity, you got this, you got that. He said, I don't really know how it would bring value to you because you covered so many bases, right? And so for you, it's obviously value that people could bring to the table for you. What I would say is be willing to be creative in your potential investors. And what I mean by that, there's a lot of different ways. Like, okay, let me give you this as an example. If I gave you the $100,000 and you told me what you were going to do, say you said marketing, advertising, this, that, and the other. Do you really need $100,000 or do you just need marketing, advertising, and those other things? You really need marketing and advertising.
Right.
So if you partnered with someone who's able to buy a lot of those things, like I got friends that own roofing companies in St. Louis, and they spend $300,000 a month on advertising. So they get billboards, all kinds of other things at a very, very deep discount that I wouldn't be able to get, right? But if I need to buy a billboard, I'm going to try to latch on to what he's got going on and be able to get a $3,000 billboard for $1,500. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's about who can you partner with or look at as a potential investor that has the resources you need more than the money, because you'll get more out of getting their resources than you will the money. Because even at $100,000, if you needed a billboard, you're going to pay full retail price for it.
Right, for that.
Won't go as far. So I'm always like, what ways do you have to be creative? I bought a 10,000 square foot building very creatively. I bought it through seller financing. I had them defer the payment for 6 months. I gave them a large lump sum of money up front. I did some things that allowed me to move quickly, but it was because I presented something creative to him that he had never heard. So that's
Thank
what I
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you both. That was great advice, and I'll definitely take it.
Books, because I'm literally writing a children's book series myself right now.
Oh, well, reach out to me so we can collaborate.
Yes. So try to just get a hold of you through the website?
Yes. So you can find me at laylathelawyer.com. Also, I have an Instagram for Layla the Lawyer. So Layla the Lawyer on Instagram and Facebook. And then also my name is Brittany Whittington. I have another name too, Brittany Armstrong Whittington. So you can connect with me too on those social media handles, on my own personal ones too. And then I'll also drop all my contact information in the chat as well as email, so we can go ahead and get started.
Awesome. All right. That's my little 2 cents.
Thank you. Yes, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brittany. And great pitch. And yeah, looking forward to staying in contact and seeing your business grow. I'm going to move you back to the audience and invite up Maria. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maria Nisbet, who will be our next entrepreneur to pitch. Hey, how are you?
Great.
Good. Mm-hmm. Well, give us your name of your business, and then I'll start the clock on your pitch.
Okay, my name is Maria Nisbet, and my business is called The Healing Marketplace.
Go ahead.
Ready? Perfect. So have any of you guys ever had a headache, a back pain, stomach ache, anything, any kind of physical ailment? And then the first thing you do is think, I need an aspirin. But what if there was a holistic option that I could use instead of pharmaceuticals? The Healing Marketplace solves that problem. The Healing Marketplace is the only marketplace actually that is for holistic providers and people seeking holistic care to meet. So basically like a dating site for holistic providers. So what you would do, for example, let's say you have a headache. You would go to the Healing Marketplace and you would type in headache and then your zip code. All the holistic options would come up, things that you may not have thought of. So when people think headache, they think aspirin, Motrin, but there's aromatherapy, hypnotherapy, acupuncture, yoga. There's so many other things that are so much better for you and treat the actual root cause of the problem versus the symptomology. So the Healing Marketplace solves that problem. As a person seeking healing, you would go search your illness in your zip code, find a provider in your area. As a provider, you would list yourself on there for a small monthly fee and basically have access to all these people that are seeking holistic options. So the goal with the Healing Marketplace is to make holistic care primary care. Your body already knows what to do, and we need to allow it to do that. I am seeking right now $100,000, 15% return, because I'm trying to turn the healing marketplace into an app. The app is kind of already almost created, but this needs to be in your pocket. You need to be able to say, this is wrong with me. I don't want medication. What are the options immediately around me that I can call right now?
All right. Thank you so much. Healing Marketplace. Taking it from analog to the digital world with your mobile app.
Yes.
Yeah, great stuff. Sheila, would love to start with you this time. What were your thoughts on the business and the pitch?
Okay. You said Maria or
Yes.
Maria?
Maria.
Okay, Maria. I like your enthusiasm, and my assumption is, in hearing your pitch, this is very close, near and dear to your heart in terms of holistic remedies, correct? And what the first question I had, and then you told me about it later, was I want to know, is this an app? And you said that it's the start of that. So I think what I heard was you have providers. How are you finding your providers first? And how are you marketing your services for the app? I didn't hear how you did that.
Okay, so the app is not ready yet, so I'm just basically using the website.
No. I know the app's not ready, but you're still trying to. My assumption is you have a website, people are going there, correct?
Yes.
So talk to me more about how you're marketing yourself.
Through Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I have a virtual assistant that does cold callings for me. So she would go to any kind of listing websites and find holistic providers in different areas. And basically we're doing cold calling right now. But okay. Yes.
Okay. Those were the questions that I had for you.
Thanks, Sheila. Cedric, what'd you think?
Oh, I got a couple things. So one of the things I wanted to know, so I'll kind of start it backwards. So when you think about most people that you talk to, you're the subject matter expert at what you do. Like, I really understand the medical field that well. Maybe granularly, I could, depending on what segment it's in. But if you think about it from the investor standpoint, a lot of times they're hearing about this stuff for the very first time on themselves. So they're also counting on you to educate them as well. That's why pharmaceutical salespeople are so good, because they're subject matter experts at one product. They can come in and tell you absolutely everything about it, and it makes the buying experience for doctors a lot more easily, right? So I would say, I think something's going to be really important to know, and it really elevates your credibility, is to know how big your market is. Right? Okay. Know how big your market is and how many people are looking for alternative drugs and things of that nature, more of a holistic approach, something safer, less side effects, things of that nature. If you kind of speak to that pain point, and while educating at the same time, people say, man, she really knows her stuff. And I know I always like to walk away where people go, boy, that guy was sharp, man. He really knew what he was talking about, but without sounding like this over-educated jerk. You get what I mean? There's a delicate balance as to how we deliver it. You smile when you speak, which is great, which makes you very relatable. You have good enthusiasm. I would say, I think that you could turn your energy up a little bit. Okay. I think you could. Yeah, I think you could, just a little bit.
I'm at work.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, well, listen. So here was the last piece of advice I had, and this is for everybody who's a part of this right now. One is, we use the word trying too much. Okay, the word try. We say, well, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to get funding. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. What I want to do, I want to challenge everybody for this, and this is something I've coached some of my friends on, is to replace the word trying with one of these three words: passionate. So I'm passionate about this industry. Just like Sheila said, I can tell this hits home for you, right? So it's okay for that to be in there, because that story is a connection, right? It allows you to be relatable to someone. So I'm passionate about, or you may say, I know that my purpose is to offer this purpose, right? So passion, purpose, or mission. If you replace the word trying with passion, purpose, or mission, it elevates what you have to say.
Right.
So people listen differently because then they go, wait, passion, wow. Well, why are you passionate about this? Well, what does this have to do? You may have a story about your grandmother or your son or something like that, right? When you say purpose, people who are Christian folks go, wait a minute, purpose. Now, only people talk like that are Christian folks. I think I might like her. You get what I'm saying? And then when you say mission, that right there is something like, no, I'm not going to stop until I fulfill my mission. So people who are military focused or athletes, we understand mission. So you're able to relate to people better by replacing the word try or trying with passion, purpose, or mission. That was my 2 cents, and I'm done talking.
Thank you.
More than 2 cents, Cedric, more than 2 cents. Definitely helpful. Maria, thank you again for coming up and pitching, and wishing you the best in terms of success with your business. I'm going to move you back down to our audience.
Just a plant. We are also do, for those of you who are on the Clubhouse mobile app, we also, when I say we, I'm talking about people who've actually pitched on Shark Tank before. It's we have a private group it's on Facebook, but we get together. We have a regular meeting, Zoom meeting together every week, but we do a Clubhouse room every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday at 7:00 Eastern Time. And we've had as many as 22 Shark Tank businesses on stage, and we give people an opportunity to practice their pitches and ask for advice, and we share all kinds of resources and systems and the other things with people absolutely free. So if you would ever need that or want to maybe refer that to people who want to really sharpen their sword, every single Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. on Clubhouse, Shark Tank Entrepreneurs is the name of our Shark Tank Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's great, Cedric. I'd love to share that with folks that are in this meeting, and then let me know if I can be helpful with it in the future. Definitely would love to be. I don't see the video option for you. All I see is the audio option. Are you on your phone?
I am not. I'm on my computer. That's maybe why. I'd be willing to pitch like this.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, let's go.
Cedric says no.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Kathy, I want to see you.
Yeah, I want you to see me too. It'd be more impressive. Let me see what I can do. And then what I have, my name's, of course, Kathy Tragesser, and my product's Eye Care Stick Pens. And it all began from, I had heard on a television show that 70% of the homeless are Vietnam veterans. And I wanted to help. My dad was a Vietnam veteran. And I thought, what can I do? I don't have the money to do that. So I turned to God. I prayed and said, I want to help. And 2 days later, I promised him I'd do whatever he wanted me to do. Didn't know how he'd lead me. 2 days later, I had a dream, and a stick pin with a flag on it popped in the dream. And someone spoke in my dream and said, for the homeless. And I woke up, knew it was more than a dream because it was so intense and vivid. And I started working on it. It was like a floodgate broke. And when I was done, I had an idea for over 60 different stick pins that could help out, represent and help out 60 different causes and diseases. And each has a little pictorial design. And if you go to Facebook, I'm on Facebook under Eye Care Stick Pins. You can see them. I've had 14 of my designs manufactured. My first one was for the homeless, and it says, no one should be homeless in the home of the free and the brave. That's the motto that's on the package, and I wanted to make everything uplifting. Everyone has a motto. I have for cancer, which is a heart, and my sister had cancer, and it says it all too often happens to the person nearest and dearest to your heart. And I wanted to empower people to help out like I did, and so I'm giving back right now 10% of the net proceeds from the sale of each stick pin goes to a charity or organization lined up locally so far, like American Cancer Society here in Kokomo, Indiana. And I want it to go global. So I would like to help out different organizations and empower people who felt like I did, felt like they couldn't make a difference. And what can they do? Well, they can go to the Eye Care Stick Pins, a one-stop place that can help out literally every cause and disease. And I've got many expandable ideas for a corona, for several corona stick pins for those that have passed away, for those frontline workers, for racism. I want one for that. I would like to work on that and I also have several for just you name it, in remembrance of someone. I have shirts, I have bumper stickers, I have many expandable ideas. I participated in local events so far. I do not have a website set up yet. I would like to get $100,000 with 10% going back to who invest in me, and that would be for setting up the website, for marketing, for advertising, for making more stick pins. I'd like to have all of them made, and for many expandable ideas. And so I have attended many across the state of Indiana, many events like for cancer. I've attended 5 or 6 of those events for the Heart Walk at Butler University. I attended that with my heart disease stick pin. But I was amazed that so many of my other stick pins sold. I had one for animals, for all we want is to be loved and be treated well. And that's for my animal stick pin that you wear over your heart. And that's to help out with the Humane Society. I just have so many. And so that's where we're at. I just think it's amazing that God gave me something that can not only help out homeless veterans, but could literally help out every cause and disease that's in existence.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for sharing that. And thanks for the incredible work that you're doing, benefiting homeless veterans. And it sounds like a number of others that all need our support. Cedric, I'll start with you this time. What do you think of her pitch?
Yeah, sure. So I actually thought it was a little bit more like a conversation than it really was a pitch. So I'd like to see you make your pitch more cohesive, and you really need to be able to get that within 2 minutes. When we practice for Shark Tank, they really want us to have our pitch down to 2 minutes. There's going to be all kinds of questions and answers and stuff like that that's going to come after, but we should be able to get most of those high level things peppered into our pitch, like who you are, what the market size is, what your passion point is. The other one is maybe so you don't seem like you're trying to do too much too fast, is to also take your pins and release them in tranches. So release 12 to 24 pins maybe twice a year, not like, okay, I'm going to make this one this week and that one this week and this one here and that one there, that type of thing. And then the last piece I had for you was, one of the things that can really take your business to the next level is for you to offer what you have as a fundraising opportunity. Let me explain.
Right.
So when you do it and you market and you get people to your website and you sell them, and then after you're done with all that money, all that acquisition cost that you put in there in order to generate money, then you're giving 10% back to that organization.
Right.
That's not necessarily the best deal for them. You want to position yourself in such a way that they're running themselves over to partner with you. So better understanding that a lot of these cancer societies and other folks like that, they have their own databases. They have email databases that are tens of thousands in many cases. What you want to do is package what you have in such a way that they can do the marketing to their people, their board, the whole 9 yards, and let them take a lion's share of the money, flip the model around. Maybe let them make 60 or 70% of what they sell. And the only thing that you're doing is supplying the materials that they're buying from you wholesale to go out and resell to a clientele they already have.
That's a wonderful idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So the 10% approach is not sexy enough.
Yeah. I want to increase that too. The more that I'm able to make, I would like to increase that too.
I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even do it. Honestly, I would flip it. I would put all the pressure on them because again, they already have a network that knows them. They're just looking for different ways to make money. I'll give you a quick example. When you think about these kids, anybody on here that's got kids, they know what I'm talking about. You come home and it seems like it's a new fundraiser every single week. Then they're selling popcorn. Now they're selling entertainment books, and now they're selling pens, and now they're selling and shoestrings. And you're like, Jesus, I just supported this fundraiser a couple of weeks ago. You got a whole nother one going on. Why? Because they keep marketing to the same database that they know is going to support, but they're trying to find unique, cooler things to hit these parents with. And it's the same way in most other charities that are out there too. It's like, we want to raise money, but we can't just sell something that's not exciting. Popcorn from anywhere, but they can't get these pens from anywhere. You get what I'm saying?
I get that. Yes.
Get the lion's share of the money because they're going to do the lion's share of the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful idea. I love that.
Yep.
Great
Okay.
stuff, Cedric. Sheila,
Thank you.
All I would add is, like Cedric, I like the give back aspect of what you're doing, Kathy.
Okay.
And Cedric gave you a perfect example of how to do it and get people to work for you more so than you trying to do it on your own.
Okay.
The other thing that I would recommend to you, and I would recommend this to any of the business owners that are out there when you're trying to perfect your pitch, get in front of the mirror, set your phone for 90 seconds, and then just pitch, right?
Okay.
Write down what you want to say. Just write down what you want to say, time yourself, and see how much time, how much time it takes you to get through that. Then you can start whittling it down to the most important aspects of what you're trying to get across. And then you'll get it down, and it will be, it will go by so much more smoother for you because you're hitting the high points and you've timed yourself and you know how much, and you've already figured out what you need to say within that 90 seconds to get your point across.
Okay. I appreciate that. And I will do that. Absolutely. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry, I would have probably had it better. I've been in a few where I pitched before, and I did that where I had it practiced, and I got the email 2 days ago. And so I really wasn't sure how to do everything. And so I listened to the others that were pitching, and I kind of got the idea from them. But I thank you, and I will use your advice. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Brandon and Sheila and Cedric. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kathy. Great to meet you, and of course, looking forward to seeing your business continue to grow.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, me as well, and thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Right. That'll be our final pitch for this session of Virtual Tank. I want to thank Sheila Mixon from the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio. I want to thank Cedric Cobb, CEO of Best Wardrobe Solutions, Shark Tank alum, as well, for joining us. Sheila, any parting thoughts before we head out?
Yes, I would tell all the business owners out there, look for the resources that are in your area. They are there to assist you. A lot of them are free, and just because they're free doesn't mean that it's not valuable, okay? Surround yourself with positive people. Those that are telling you to go find a real job, you stay away from those folks because they will kill your ideas, kill your drive. Find your tribe that's going to support you emotionally. And again, find the local resources out there that can help you hone your idea, talk you through, just talk, because sometimes you just need to talk to somebody just to get it out. And that's what we're here for, is just to listen and give you tips. And then it's up to you as the business owner to decide what you're going to do, because it's your business. You need to decide what pieces of advice you're going to implement in terms of growing your business or launching the business.
Yeah, great advice, Sheila. Thank you so much for joining us again. And thanks for the incredible work that you and the Urban League are doing, supporting entrepreneurs in your home state of Ohio, but also all around the country. Cedric, any parting thoughts before we head out for today?
So this may be a little off the wall. So listen, here's my advice. Be like peanut butter and jelly. Now let me explain. Have you ever made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and never got jelly on the counter, never got jelly on your hands, never got jelly going down the front of your shirt? You need to be relentless in your approach of what you do so you get on people.
Right.
You on people, that you leave this impression behind with someone where they just got done talking to Brandon. You're like, man, that guy really rubbed off on me. Brandon left a little jelly on you, is what he did. Okay. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You can't rub it off. It's too sticky. You got to wash it off. Okay. So you're never going to look at peanut butter and jelly the same again after what I just said. And then lastly, I'd love for you guys to be a part of what we do. And please download our free mobile app, which is Best Wardrobe Solutions. That's Best Wardrobe Solutions. It's the only app that a man will ever need again the rest of his life. Because we got everything in there from sports to motivation to entrepreneurship. And obviously it skews a lot more to wardrobe and clothing, but they're going to love it. So with that, guys, just rock and roll. You are part of the entrepreneur fraternity, and God bless you in everything that you touch.
Thank you so much, Cedric. And that's definitely sage advice, and that's going to, stick with me, no pun intended, like sticky peanut butter. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. And definitely everyone support his business and of course, connect with the other entrepreneurs that are in this session and the other entrepreneurs that are in your area. Something I often say is at our casting calls, the best connection for you may be the person you're sitting next to, maybe the entrepreneur that you're sitting next to versus the investor that you are trying to pitch, because there's always partnership opportunities. And at the very least, you have someone that you can build with, who understands what you're going through, your experience, and who can encourage you along the way. Thank you again for joining us for this session of Virtual Tank with the National Urban League and Cedric Cobb, CEO of Best Wardrobe Solutions, our Shark Tank alum. I'm Brandon Andrews with Values Partnerships. I'm excited to see some of you pitching on season 13 of ABC Shark Tank. Again, if you're interested in the show, visit sharktankdiversitytour.com, submit your virtual pitch, and I'll see you there. Thank you. Bye-bye.